Next up on the agenda, designated by Committee of Temporary, that's me. Number 3, discussion and possible action on minutes of regular meeting of January 23rd, 2017.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 4, discussion and possible action on claims.
Claims this evening are $850,117.32.
Move to approve.
I will second. No questions.
All right, motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, number 5, discussion and possible action on operators' licenses.
Point of counsel, I need to recuse myself, so we may have to carry that over till full council.
That's fine, we'll just do that.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Number 6, discussion and possible action on denial of operator's license.
Is Mr. Van Ness here? He was notified by letter that they would be discussing it.
I'll move for denial.
Second.
Motion and second.
Stay on the basis.
On the basis of his history given to us by Chief Jensen on his alcohol convictions.
Thank you.
There's 3 DWIs.
Yes.
Right, within a 3-year
Also, he
period.
did
I
not
think.
list everything on the applications.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, next up we have discussion and possible action on trade name change for secondhand jewelry dealer's license.
This is an application from Hubbard Jeweler. You can get it every year, so.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, number 8, discussion and possible action on trade name change for HAG Inc.
When they had their change of premises over there, they forgot to request also, they had a name change, and it's just the trade name, the corporation name, and the license will remain with Hague Inc. It's just the trade name change.
Okay, move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 9, discussion and possible action on park user fees for 2017. Looks like,
Most of it's staying the same, if I'm correct?
Yes.
sure.
Yes, I believe everything is the same, Randy. I don't think there's any changes.
At the park board meeting last week, the park board recommended, we reviewed the fees for the different categories, user fees, lakefront band shell reservations, boat launch fees, sailboat mooring fees, and park and pavilion rentals, and it was a motion by Ron Weiler, seconded by Erickson, to recommend approval of the proposed rates at no increase.
Thank you. Move for approval.
What was the rationale to keeping the rates the same that they have been for a few years now while our costs continue to grow up?
We actually had some increases last year.
Okay.
And feel that we've looked at the expenditures that we have for these parks and pavilions and felt it was reasonable rates that we have for the rentals. And Lakefront Park reservations, we just felt that everything was within line with our proposed rates. We did increase some of the rates last year. We did review the boat launch rates, and that is based off the daily state park fee. That's $8, and we can go for non-residents 1.5 times that. We could go 50 cents higher, but because of the change difference, we decided to keep it at $11 instead of $11.50.
I'll move to approve.
We have a first.
Randy has a
Motion.
motion. All you have to do is
Yeah,
second it
second.
there.
Oh, second, I'm sorry.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, number 10, discussion and possible action on concessions agreement for Grandview and Lakefront Park.
We kept that the same. The softball association has come to us the last several years and said that due to declining involvement and teams, that they asked that their portion of the concessions be lowered last year, which we went from 8 to 6% last year. This year, we just kept it at 6%, same as it was from last year.
I'd like to recommend one change on both agreements, just on the insurance provisions, that they provide insurance on a primary and non-contributory basis. We've done that with all our contractors and other situations where we require insurance, and I think it'd be good to be consistent there.
Is that in the agreement itself, or?
Well, the agreement requires insurance, and we would just add the language on adding the city as an additional insured on a primary and non-contributory basis. It just relates to protecting the city. They have to go to their insurance first.
Okay,
I'll move for the approval with that provision added to each of the entities.
Yeah, it's in each lease.
agreement, okay. I'll second that. Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 11, discussion and possible action on temporary Class B beer and Class B wine for Knights of Columbus for St. Patrick's Fish Fry on February 24th, March 17th, and April 7th, 2017.
One note, the April 7th, they will not have wine because there's a limit of 2 per year, I believe. But anyway, for whatever reason, they're not doing wine on the third one.
Okay,
So
move to
just
approve.
mention that.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 12, discussion of possible action on recommendation for pedestrian crossing signage and determination of funding source for signage at Vine Street and Diamond Drive and 17th Street and Summer Street. We did talk about this at Public Works, and we forwarded on to here to figure out how we're going to pay for those 2 items.
It was also talked at public safety as well. And the 2 options were contingency
You
and,
either have the 2017 contingency or undesignated funds, or undesignated fund balance.
and what was the balance in that?
Well, contingency is still at the full balance, is it? 90?
60,000, I thought it was 60.
Did we reduce that?
That was at 60 for 2017.
Is there a preference? We did put monies in the capital improvement, but it was a very small amount, so.
Well, we put money in the regular operating budget for signs, such, but more for stop signs and those type of things. So something in the 2018 budget we may want to consider would be a larger amount in there in case these type of things come up. But
Well, I move we approve it under undesignated, or, the 60,000 account.
The
What's that?
contingency.
Contingency account.
And if we get to the end of the year, we can always address it out of the undesignated.
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 13, discussion and possible action on entering into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.85, 1C to discuss technology department employee transition request.
Morissette?
Need a motion.
Oh, we need a motion, okay.
I'll move to go into closed session.
Second,
Morissette?
Yes.
McCormick?
yes.
Haggett?
Yes. And we're going to meet in the mayor's office.
I'll go around and open the door.
You have a key? That's good.
I'll go around and open it.
We'll be back. We're back in open session. Discussion and possible action on, actually, we don't need to do that, so, right, we don't,
Essentially, just direct me to
Yeah.
proceed with, finalizing the job descriptions, get everything, and then I'll bring it back at the next meeting. So,
okay,
So moved.
yeah.
second. Motion and second on item 15. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 16, items for future agendas. Anybody have anything for Randy? You don't have anything? All right, move to adjourn.
Second.
All's in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
I will send you.